And we switch over to LinkedIn, which is probably the the best social media to be able to connect with people professionally. There are 700 million people on LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn and you have 50 connections, and each of those 50 connections also have 50 connections, you're going to be able to have access to 2,500 second degree connections. Second degree connections are important because they know the same people that you know. And once you're connected with another person, you're able to see all of their connections as well. So if you see someone that looks interesting to you that you might like to reach out to, you could go through the person who you both know and ask that person to introduce you. Therefore, you're not coming across as someone that's coming out of the shadows to sort of reach out to those people, or who might scam them as well, because they are being introduced by someone who they know and trust. So those second degree connections are important. And when you go into LinkedIn, you can actually look at first or second or third degree connections, or any combinations of those. Okay. Keep in mind that anyone that you allow into your LinkedIn network will also have access to your entire network as well. So we want to focus first on building your network to get a fairly strong number, because beyond that, you would be able to reach out exponentially to many, many, many other people through those contacts that you already know. And then LinkedIn, you typically only want to connect with people who you already know. There are two ways to build your network. So there's a passive way and an active way. I'll just let you read the little bullet points here. So I'm fairly active on LinkedIn. I'll get messages when it's somebody's birthday, or someone got a promotion, or someone got a new job. Many of my students, typically will indicate there when they get a job. And I always sort of send a little message of congratulations to them through the system as well. And then, I get people who are connected to people who I know who reach out to me. So usually I'll look to see, what do we have in common? Excuse me. Did we go to the same schools? Are we in the same profession? Do we have some connection through Johns Hopkins? Do we have, are they connected with other people who I know? And if I don't see any connections there, then typically I may choose not to connect with them as well, because I would want to know, why are you interested to connect with me? Okay. But if you see that there's some reason that people would want to connect with you, or vice versa, then typically I, as practice, will accept those requests. Now, let's look at LinkedIn. A couple tips and tricks here as well. 700 million members. Excuse me. The more things you have in common with other people, the more likely they will be to engage with you. I'm not using the word connect here because that has a different meaning in LinkedIn, but to engage with you. Try, just for the heck of it, doing a search on Johns Hopkins in quotation marks, because it's more than one word, +, keyword, or industry or function, to find alumni. Or how about we do Johns Hopkins in quotation marks plus your undergraduate school name plus keyword, right? Don't you think that other people who graduated from the same two universities or colleges that you are affiliated with would have a greater interest to engage with you? Would you? Probably so in most cases, right? So the more things we have in common with other people, the more willing they will be to engage. So we want to use different combinations to find people with common backgrounds to you as well. LinkedIn has a paid version account. It's fairly expensive. It's about $40 or $50 a month, maybe a little bit more than that. There's also a free account. If you've got the free account and you want to connect with alumni of Johns Hopkins University, you can join the Johns Hopkins University LinkedIn group. Very easy to do. You go into your LinkedIn account, if you have one, do a search on Johns Hopkins University. And then you're going to get a list of groups affiliated with Johns Hopkins University. And the top 1 or 2 or 3, you'll see one saying Johns Hopkins University alumni. It's got about 24,000 alumni in that group, 24,000. Right? So you're not going to be able to get into that because you're not yet part of the group. So when you click on that, a little window will pop up and saying, do you want to join this group? And you'll click on that. It'll take 2 or 3 weeks, but eventually you'll get an email from whoever is monitoring that group and saying you're in. Once you're in, you can go ahead and search, reach out directly to any of those 24,000 alumni without paying the $50 or $60 a month to LinkedIn. Okay. And if you could also do this for your undergraduate school as well. So, look at joining some of these groups if you don't have the paid account.